Hello, wherever you're at. My name's James, and welcome to it's day 4 of our 40-day mission, but it's really the second preparatory day, I believe, that we're doing a live stream. But man, today I was just kind of going through my notes and making some edits. During one of our previous outbriefs, we started talking about, I was sharing a feel good story, and I had an interaction, very positive interaction with somebody who um, commended me, right? It wasn't a compliment. It was like a commended me for carrying a reusable bag. And I bought an item where typically at that store, it was a bakery. They put it in plastic. A piece of bread, they'll put it in plastic, and instead I carried a my own container to prevent the use of a single piece of plastic. And someone observed that and they noticed it, and they gave me we had a good conversation about it, and I covered that story already in a live stream. So but I started, I was thinking about that, and I was editing the video, and I started thinking about, that was one of the things that was one of the issues, one of the global issues facing humanity, currently facing all of us. Microplastics, this toxic environment that we're creating. We live in a miracle time, guys, right? Like I'm, looking around everywhere. There's plastic everywhere. Headphones, this chair, right? We live in a miracle age of plastic. And I'm not gonna demonize an entire industry, but we all know there's byproducts and there's waste, and part of that waste, for every little piece of plastic that you have, what happens to it, guys? It's either incinerated for energy. I think they use that to heat the water to produce energy in certain plants. Right, essentially they're burning trash to produce electricity, or it gets buried in landfills, or it blows around through the land. Right, you see plastic all over the place until it reaches rivers, then feed into oceans or lakes, and it's everywhere, guys. So that was one of the issues that really caused me to go to a spiritual and personal low point in my life. And I'm going to keep referring to it because that was a keystone moment in my life that changed my choice of being complacent and seeking comfort and choosing inaction. And no longer, guys, I'm choosing action. And I hope you do too. And I hope you guys join the effort, right? It's day 4 out of a 40, and a 40-day period. That doesn't mean, James is going to hang everything up, and, no, that's a focused time that I set aside to kind of essentially seclude myself and focus exclusively on these efforts. And today, man, we are going to talk about plastic. But before that, guys, right, I'm real sensitive about copyright and stuff, but I am passionate about music, and music is the common universal language between people. Music, science, mathematics, emotions, body language. But we're gonna listen to a piece of music, man, that I really love, and it's gonna set the mood for us to focus and push forward on this. Right? This is an informal preparatory research live stream. So, that's why I'm wearing my baseball cap, because I'll probably, go to the gym right after this. But the intent of this is transparency, guys. Yeah, transparency. I want you guys, because I'm going to prepare. That's what I'm doing, is preparing for the more formal um, live stream later, where yeah, things will be a little bit more formal. But let's just listen to this music, guys, and stop jabbering so much, stop talking so much. Yeah, but if you guys haven't seen the movie Oppenheimer, phenomenal, with probably one of the best directors that ever existed, Christopher Nolan, and I'm forgetting the key actor's name, but there's some phenomenal actors. Ah, man, he's Irish. CNC Murphy, Killian Murphy, I believe, was the lead actor. But this this song, guys, man, I'm gonna turn it up, and I'm cautious about copyright, right? You guys know I didn't create this music. Um, and I'm not trying to profit from using it. It's powerful. And, if Ludwig Göransson, this is his official channel, and I think I'm already subscribed. Yeah, oh yeah, I support this guy. I'm gonna just send him a positive note because I'm sure he's wondering, like, hey, how does James feel about my music? It's not a very well thought out comment, but I love this song. So powerful. Boom. And then I like it. Yeah, I like my own stuff, guys. If you don't like what you're saying, then some people are like, oh, look at this guy. He likes his own comments. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I put a little heart shape on there too because I love it. We're gonna listen to this, guys, and we're gonna set the tone. I'm gonna turn off my microphone and let's just listen to this music. Again, like support the film, support the director, support the movie and the actors, but specifically we're talking about this song, guys. And man, I am so cautious about copyright but you guys know, man, I think they have something called fair use, and I think that's what this is, guys. Right? I promoted it and I support it, and it's part of our shared music playlist, which we'll cover in a little bit. But uh, I'm gonna turn it up, keep talking. Yeah, we're in tough times, guys. Like if you think you're right, sometimes you wake up and you're feeling great, and you're like, sometimes, yeah, I feel like I'm in heaven, but there's some serious issues facing humanity, and you know it, and I know it, and not everyone has time to set aside like I do for 40 days, and that's what I'm doing it, man. I'm putting this burden on my shoulders, and I'm gonna carry it as hard as possible and as long as possible. Let's turn it up, man. Can you believe human beings can make music like this? So powerful, guys. We're going to focus on these major issues, and today we're talking about plastic waste. And I have a start point, but I haven't done a lot of research, right? I have my own thoughts. Man, I think I need to keep talking so I don't get a copyright strike, man, but love it, guys. Let's join together. Let's join efforts. Let's combine our talents and our God-given right? I don't know if you call it God, but I believe we were created. I believe we have talents, individual talents. We're all different. Let's combine those talents and let's figure this out. Let's start working, guys. Because, I don't have children, guys, but I don't want to leave a crap planet for future generations. Do you feel that responsibility? Man, so emotional. Do you share that sense of responsibility to leave a better world for future generations? Do you share that same responsibility? I hope you do, man. Sorry, non-gender guys. I hope you share that same responsibility, and that's what this community's for. And if you don't, I don't care about subscriber number. Get the hell away. That's too negative, guys. If you don't share that sense of responsibility, like, stay with us, and I hope over time you're gonna feel like, man, this guy's talking with passion. This guy's talking from his soul. This guy really cares about humanity right now and in the future, guys. How long do you want humanity to go for? I want it to go as long as possible, as long as this earth is habitable. And that's what we're trying to do is we have actions. We are doing things right now that could lead, right? I'm not going to draw any assumptions right now, but our actions, we know they could lead to an uninhabitable world or a less than desirable world. So let's get rolling. Right. This is our website, humanvalueslife.org. Go to it. Yeah, go to it sometime. But I just added it, guys. And maybe this is I hope I added it. Yeah. So right here, it's just our shared music playlist. You just click on the icon, guys, and I need to fix it. I don't want it to take you away from the landing homepage. I want to create a new tab, a new window, but right now this is what we got. So this is our community playlist. I wish we could just listen to the same music and you could hear but the best we can do, right? Because of copyright issues, and I support creators and the music industry and entertainment industry and intellectual property, right? Like, someone created this stuff, and I don't want anyone to ever try to accuse me, even though this is a nonprofit organization, of trying to profit from other people's creations. Right? Sorry, guys, I didn't shave yet either. Right? This is the informal. This is the informal live stream. So you get what you get, man. So this is it. This is our shared playlist. Right? I'm not endorsing any specific. I know some people use Apple Music or uh, Pandora. Right? There's a bunch of different services. This is the one I've used, and I'm not endorsing it. And I'll ask you if you got something better, let's use it. But this is the shared playlist I built, and this first song on here, maybe the first 10 I kind of put in different, like a prioritized order, and otherwise it's really not in any specific order. But this is a beautiful song, and I would listen to it right now with you guys, but we have a purpose today, and that's the start. But if you want to listen to it, guys, Spotify is the service that I use. I think you can play it on the website. Yeah, let's listen to it real quick. This guy had a beautiful soul, and I have a hard time. Israel, it's a Hawaiian name, but he had a beautiful soul and a beautiful voice. But that's the preview version. But check that out, guys. Anyways, there's also a way. I'm not gonna click it because it'll bring up my. But if you click it, it'll bring up your email provider, your email application. And then if you have a song like, man, I think James would really like, I want to share this with this human values community, share it, guys. I've already had quite a few people that were comfortable enough to share some music, and I added it to the playlist. The only thing I'm not going to add is like, obviously, songs with high vulgarity, curse words, right? You guys get the point. Let's keep going. We are talking about plastic. So here's what kind of I've been concerned about. Again, these are just our preparatory talking points for tonight, for later, for the following formal update. Right, guys, bear with me. This is a work in progress. So I'm kind of organizing. I mean, since it's on the screen, I'll share you, but, I want to show you guys, this effort to do more than words, to just do more than talking about stuff. This is a terrific. Let's go look at it, guys. I shared it before, but I'm going to keep sharing it because based on my research, based on my knowledge, they're a very trustworthy place to get information. And it's this Frontline documentaries. Right? So I I'm doing all this research about these various issues that are impacting humanity. And one of them, but it's this, I made this playlist. I don't know what, yeah, view full playlist. I made this playlist, and there's this documentary series called The Power of Big Oil, and I've been through part 1. I haven't been through part 2 and 3 yet, but just to expand on that a little bit, this documentary from Frontline is talking about how these oil companies, not company, right? They're human beings, these oil executives, these executive CEOs of big oil companies. In the 70s, right, all this science started coming out, and maybe even before that, guys, but this highlighted in the 70s and 80s. These oil companies were starting to understand that, hey, there's a serious climate impact to our environment from the expulsion, the burning, the creation of all this CO2. And it could have dire effects for humanity. And they're not bound by what's better for humanity. Understand that, guys, about these companies. They're bound for what's increasing their profits. And so that's what they're concerned about. And so they hired, some brilliant scientists. I'm not going to say moral, but they're brilliant. Let's assume they were brilliant scientists, and they invested a lot in research on the impacts of CO2 emissions from their product, from oil, petroleum. Anyways, we're talking about frontline, but we will talk about, yeah, we will talk about that kind of stuff, guys. So I wanted to do more than words and show, like, hey, James does more. He's not more than just a consumer. He's going to contribute, to donate. I'm not patting myself on the back, guys, but I'm doing more than just speaking words. That's the point of that. Let's keep going, man. And then I did some research right before we give money to anyone, before we support any organization or anyone. We kind of do our due diligence, our research. So I just did a little bit of research. I don't know if you can read it, but I'll keep talking. So I said, is Frontline news organization, these journalists, are they trustworthy? Is there evidence of them trying to manipulate and deceive and shape people? No. I researched that, and what I found, and no, they're impartial as can be. And from what I've watched of their products, that's my my opinion of their quality of their work. But I donated and subscribed, right? It's not that much money, man, but I wanted to research too. So their parent organization, that's how much they make in their last IRS filing. Their revenue, 225 million, pretty significant. It's a nonprofit, and I think this is, let's assume, right? No, it's a safe assumption. GBH. Let's specify. Words have meanings, guys. GBH is a nonprofit worth 580 million. Significant. Over $500 million. And I highlighted it. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about how much the CEOs of nonprofits make, but yeah, we're going to run with it, guys. This is unstructured preparatory session, and I'm not even sure anyone's ever going to watch this, but I hope you do. But I was listening to I try to get information from all different sources, but one of the highlights was a podcaster. You're probably familiar with the name Joe Rogan, very popular, very followed, very influential media personality. But he was talking about on the show, and we're going to look it up, guys. Let's do it right now because I want to record it. I'm using an Apple MacBook Pro, and I love it, right? Again, not endorsing, I'm just sharing my experience. And it's a good story how I came about, because I went away from Mac, and then I was in a moment of crisis in a foreign country, and I said, James, you got to start this effort right now. And so I looked up, like, is there a computer store near me? And there was a Mac store in Bangkok, Thailand, and I went there. And anyway, so I'm using one app to broadcast live right now. Joe Rogan talks about nonprofit organizations.
Things you can't cancel. One, the truth. That's it.
There's so many competing philosophies on how to make a society run correctly, and a lot of them just completely ignore reality, and we deal with the consequences of it. And then you have people saying, oh, the billionaires aren't paying their fair share. That's what's wrong. That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is you have a completely captured government.
I don't agree with you, Joe. Yeah, that's not, billionaires aren't to blame for our problems of humanity.
To make things better that don't make anything better.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to hear.
At all, because they're weird aspects.
Right. So that's one of the criticisms of this media personality, is that he's become real chummy, real friendly with billionaires and a trillionaire, and so maybe his opinions have been influenced by that. Right. I'm careful of what I'm saying because I don't know what's in this guy's heart, but yeah, I don't want to, this isn't about this specific guy, but what he was talking about that's making me talk about billionaires is that it's a criticism that, hey, there's a trend right now, people blaming billionaires, right? It's not the billionaire, social status is a billionaire. It's not the billionaire class's fault what's going on in humanity, but they have the resources to help humanity. But a lot of them, there are some great examples of billionaires that there was one billionaire that donated a sizable fund to a medical school, I think in New York, somewhere in the United States. And I wrote that down on a previous note. We're in a copy, but I believe it was a female, guys, non-gender, but I believe it was a female billionaire. And she left a sizable amount of money to a medical school and said, I want every medical student who attends this institution of learning to not pay a penny of their own money, to not go into extreme student loan debt to earn their medical degree. And phenomenal, right? I researched it like wave tops just to confirm, is that a true story? And yes, it is, but I don't know much more than that right now. But right, we cannot villainize different groups of people on our social hierarchy, whether you're right, no matter what rung of the social ladder we're on, we can't place blame, or villainize uh, anybody, any groups of people is what I'm saying. But so I think this guy, Joe Rogan's comment about it's not the billionaires, guys, they're paying their fair. I think that's too broad, too generalized, and I don't agree with that statement. That's why I'm saying. But I want to. I'm recording right now, and I'm going to use this later for our out brief. This blurb about. Let's go full screen. This blurb about nonprofits is what I want to capture.
Weird aspect to it where there's people that are working for nonprofits to make things better that don't make anything better. They don't do a good job at all because they're not beholden to all the pressures that you would have if you were an independent business. If you were an actual private business that was assigned a task of cleaning up the homeless issue, you wouldn't make any money if you didn't do a good job. You would lose your business. Like if homelessness, cleaning up the homelessness was an actual business, and you started a private business to clean up the homeless, and you got all this money, nobody would invest in your company. Your company would fall apart. It wouldn't work. But because it's a nonprofit, you could have a $700,000 a year salary and do a fucking terrible job and have no fear whatsoever of being unemployed.
Things you can't cancel. One, the
Joe Rogan, I do 100% agree with that commentary and your assessment of nonprofits, because it almost set me off, guys. And I don't, right, again, this is me preparing for this. So we're going to run, guys. We're going to run with this. That was one of the things that set me off, guys, on my downward spiral is there was a story years ago of a nonprofit organization. And look at this, guys. Like, you just look at this and the name of it and the meaning and the symbolism. What a powerful image. That stuff happens in combat, guys. I'm a combat veteran too, infantry officer, and it happens. Soldiers of every nation, right? You're in combat. Your fellow soldier is wounded from enemy contact. And they got to evacuate him. You got to get him out of there, him or her, non-gender. So what do? You put them on your back and you carry them out. And sometimes it's more than one people doing it, and sometimes on a stretcher. But look, that's powerful. And yeah, that is powerful. And that makes you want to contribute, right? And I did contribute. And this was years ago. But what set me off, guys, I'm going to tell you what set me off. Let's look at the video, because videos are more impactful. And this isn't now, guys. I'm telling you, right? Just like people make mistakes and they deserve a chance to redeem themselves. But I'm telling you, when I probably lieutenant or captain, this came out and I felt sick. I felt sick because So many people trust organizations like this, nonprofit organizations, and they contribute and they trust. Like, what does this organization stand for? Just the name of it. It stands for helping veterans. Stands for helping warriors that have been wounded in combat, or it doesn't have to be combat, right? Military service is dangerous in general. And they do good. I'm not talking about, I don't want to look at this stuff. Yeah, they do good. I'm 1000%, 100% right, confident they do good. But the question about, in general, nonprofit organizations, when you say nonprofit, to me, that implies selfless. It implies sacrifice. It implies willingness to have a lesser compensation for the benefit of the greater good that your organization publicly supports. And back in the day, man, yeah, I'm going to talk informal here, guys, because this is an informal research. Back in the day, this scandal came out. Let's look at it. Yeah, NBC Nightly News. Yeah, we'll stick with Rogan. Let's go.
Altruism. I don't think there's an altruistic act in the world. I think every single thing somebody does is, even if it just makes you feel good, well, that's not altruistic.
Right. Yeah, I've said that before about being kind and generous, that it makes you feel good. It's actually good for you, too.
Correct.
But it's still kind and generous. It's like, just because like someone enjoys it doesn't mean it's not altruistic. It's just that there is a benefit to the person that does it, too. I think a lot of people have this idea of altruism that you only and the charities are making millions of dollars.
That's the worst thing in the world.
That is scary. That freaks me out.
We've done a lot of charity.
Yeah, you guys can see this.
I'm gonna charity. It is self-enhancing, and we don't
scan through this, guys.
Yeah,
you guys get the point, but
actually gets to the people, and it's a very.
The title
some of them
talked about
good,
wounded warriors, so.
But man, some of them are shockingly bad, like 10%.
Yeah,
like, which is crazy. When you got executives making six figures and.
Yeah, it becomes a business.
Joe, we're not talking about six figures, right? And I know what he's talking. He's talking about like $500,000. Like, there's a difference between making $101,000 annually and making $999,000, right? It's six figures. He's talking about more than right. You know what I mean?
It's no longer like charity.
Yeah, that's real common though. Like, a lot of people freaked out when the Black Lives Matter people were buying mansions and shit.
Yep. Well, I mean, rightfully so.
That's insane. That's another I didn't write that one down, but like, that's a powerful organization that it has a good purpose to ensure that there's civil rights and everyone's being treated equally, despite what tone of your skin is, right? We're like 99.99% the exact same. It's just some of us have darker skin tone than others. And it's absurd that we get treated differently because of our outward appearance. It's absolutely, it's thinking like a Neanderthal, guys. Like, we got to evolve our thinking. And a lot of us have been. We need to join together and figure out how do we bring everyone else on board with that kind of thinking. I think it starts in the family structure, right? If your parents have values like that, you can pass those positive values, human values, to your children, but also school and spiritual. Yeah, let's keep going, guys.
Oh my God, look at this. The name game, a very commonly known and respected group, is the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This organization spends the vast majority of its donations on children. Kid Wish Network, however, it spends only 3 cents of every dollar collected on kids. But
what did he say?
Solicit-
I didn't see this before, guys. 3 cents? 3 pennies out of 100 pennies get spent on kids? Ah, sick. I'm not going to look it up, guys. Like, they're looking it up.
It spends only 3 cents of every dollar collected on kids.
That's sickening, guys.
But their website and solicitations are designed to look and sound like Make-A-Wish. In fact, they count on confusion to gather contributions. What?
Do we just bury Make-A-Wish? I
No,
hope
it's not
not.
Make-A-Wish. It's this Kids Wish Network.
Oh.
Is the one that's
Oh.
copying
Yeah, let's
Make-A-Wish.
specify that, guys. And I'm going to be careful when I do the formal one, but it's not Make-A-Wish. It's this other different organization that's kind of mirrored to appear like Make-A-Wish, right? Let be real careful because slander is a thing, guys. And again, we talk about the foundation of human values is integrity and honesty. And I'm just watching this video because we're talking about Wounded Warrior Project.
Kids
Put it
Wish
on the record.
Network.
We're not,
Okay, so this
we're
is
not
the
burying Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish is a very respected group.
Yeah,
That organization
Make-A-Wish
spends
good.
the vast majority of its
Kids
donations.
Wish,
But
according
the Kids
to this,
Wish Network spends only 3 cents of every dollar collected on kids.
I would say
Well,
that's
that
not
just sounds
good.
like a group that may be trying to trick people.
It is. Yeah, so they're designed to the Kids Wish Network.
Yeah. The lid off.
I hope we did. Yeah, because you get something. Not really.
Well,
But let's go to like the Red Cross.
I've heard many.
Interests.
Do you care about anything you say?
In what way?
Like, I have one off the top of my head. I don't want to say it because I've heard many times that it's not great with donating, but I'm afraid to say it.
Like, what is that?
Say it, brother. I know what you're going to
The
say.
Red Cross is proud that an average of 90 cents of every dollar spent invested in delivering care and comfort to those in need. The remaining 10 cents help to keep the entire Red Cross running by supporting routine but indispensable day-to-day business operations. That's fucking great.
Can I say one? And
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
But what if I?
Red Cross is fucking great.
Red Cross. I have
That's
one
great.
that I know that I've heard
Yeah,
is
good
not
for you,
great.
Red Cross.
What's the name?
Wounded Warriors.
Wounded Warriors.
Yep.
Really?
That's the one why I didn't say it. But I love military causes. But that's one I've heard is not ideal with getting most of the money out.
Let's find out. Yeah. I mean,
I apologize in advance if that's incorrect information.
we'll just edit it out just to avoid trouble if it's incorrect.
It does say it has a good rating, but it also says scandal, and I have to investigate what scandal means, I guess.
Like we moved to we've done a bunch. We do Headstrong, Fisher House.
Wounded Warrior Project's top execs fired amid. Oh boy. Wounded Warrior Project's top execs fired amid lavish spending scandal. Fuck.
So something there.
What is the? It's got an ad blocker. These motherfuckers. CEO. So it might have been just the people that were.
This was
running
years
it, 'cause
ago,
they were
guys, right? It's
fired
2026
by
right
the
now, filming
charities
this
board amid
July.
criticisms about
This
how it
was
spent
years
more than
ago, but I'm
800
telling you.
million in donations over the last 4 years. The development was confirmed
Hold
by
on, I
Abernathy
wanna replay
McGregor,
that.
a
That was
public
yapping.
relations firm. Oh boy. Wounded Warrior Project's top execs fired amid lavish spending scandal. Fuck.
So something there.
What is the? It's got an ad blocker. These motherfuckers. CEO. So it might have been just the people that were running it.
Could be.
They were fired by the charities board amid criticisms about how it spent more than $800 million in donations over the last 4 years. The development was confirmed by Abernathy McGregor, a public relations firm hired to represent the veterans charity. To best effectuate these changes and help restore trust in the organization amongst all constituents. WWP serves. The board determined the organization would benefit from new leadership. Blah blah blah. What happened though? What would those guys do?
And
Does it say?
when was this article?
So this is 2016. It says they were fired for
They were
how they fired by the board for criticisms and how they spent $800 million in donations.
right, but does it say that they stole it? Like no, it just said
There
they
it is.
spent.
Nonprofit watchdog Charity Navigator says Wounded Warrior Project spends just 60% of its budget on veterans. The Marine Corps Law Enforcement Foundation provides more than 98% to veterans.
Wow.
Now,
I
maybe it
would
changed since then.
Yeah, maybe it did. And also, I'd like to know like why. Like maybe there's some logistical explanation for why they have to spend so much money. I mean, what does that mean? I don't
Because
know.
that's a cause. You hear the name,
Yeah,
and it's like we've donated tons of different military. That's the one you want to get behind right off the bat.
of course.
Yeah.
Just the way it says.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The same with like Make-A-Wish. Oh, kids. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Dying kids.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that? And we're going to keep running with this, guys. Yeah. Again, so I have to differentiate in my head. This is just preparatory, a preparation research. So um, we're talking about nonprofit organizations and trustworthiness and um, efficiency on spending revenue donated, not revenue, uh, applying donations received towards a purpose of their nonprofit organization. And we're talking, sorry guys, I screwed that up. And we're talking specifically about Wounded Warrior Project, and I'm sharing how in the past, during their biggest scandal, it really made me sick and made me lose faith in humanity and trustworthiness of organizations. But give us a description of the scandal that Wounded Warrior Project is most known for, and give me some bullets I can add to as talking points. Again, I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch this, but I hope you do. And I want to say, and I'll bring up the picture. I don't want to go through all my personal pictures right now, but I'll bring it up during the formal outbrief tonight or later today. But we're talking about one organization, right? But just like one person, you look at a moment in time. And so what we're looking at is one organization in one period of time, a defined period of time. And it was years ago. We're about to define it, but it was years ago. And the scandal was the scandal that I'm referring to was these executives, these decision makers, these leaders of Wounded Warrior Project during the specific period of time years ago were throwing these lavish, high cost functions. We're going to look at it, but what I remember is like essentially they would rent out these resorts and have these lavish, like internal parties, right? I'm going to stop mincing words. They threw a party for themselves with a massive amount of money that they collected through donations. That's what I'm saying. And that's what set me off, because during this time was peak, uh, the global war on terror. And, I shared stories of buddies that were killed and wounded and not just my personal experience and people that impacted me, but across the United States military, but also our allies, right? We're talking about in Afghanistan, the International Security Afghan Forces, ISAF. NATO partners contributed and sacrificed and bled, and NATO members lost service members during those operations, and also in Iraq, right? British were there, and I'm not sure who else was in Iraq because I was kind of secluded with just U.S. service members, but you know what I'm saying? They took that money that was donated on good faith that, hey, I'm going to give you $1, right? Represent $1 is represent. I'm going to give you this dollar, and I expect as much as possible to get to the intended audience, to the intended benefactors, and that's Wounded Warriors, right? What's the name? I'm going off on this, guys. And then it turns out they spent lavish amounts on internal functions. And it made me sick. And I didn't do anything about it. I kept it internal, and that seed was planted in my mind where I am distrustful of organizations. But you can't, right? We just saw the example that the Red Cross spends a higher proportion of donations received towards the intended benefactors. And I'm talking about Wounded Warrior, and I'll bring up the picture tonight, but I shared it. I want to show it, guys. Yeah, I do. I know exactly where to get it. We're gonna look at I know someone who's part of the Wounded Warrior Project. Yeah. No, I'm gonna keep my face on there. Let's see. Let's run, guys. So this is the Human Values YouTube channel.
And he was an Iraqi interpreter, and I love that guy.
Would you
And
believe,
guess what?
guys? Are you gonna believe? I know somebody who works in the Wounded Warrior Project right now, and we're gonna talk about him. That sounds terrible. We're not gonna talk. I'm gonna highlight because it's someone that I admire. Guys, I'm just I'm gonna turn the volume so you can hear it, but I don't want it to drown out my voice right now. Yeah, it's one of the best leaders I served with. So if you haven't watched this video, guys, I hope you do, because the 7 to 8 people that liked it, I appreciate it. Like, this helps the algorithm, whatever that is, means to you, to like share it. So like, hit share, hit like, whatever. You get the point. Like, participate, help get this stuff out. Yeah, this is a powerful video that I made, but I'm sharing my experience in Iraq, focused on positively impacting and influencing the children of the area I was responsible for. My team and I, and the local Iraqi leaders and security forces were responsible. That's the future, guys. That classroom. I wish I could go back and meet these great people. This is him, guys. And I'm gonna stop talking. This leader that I served with, guys, I'm gonna blow this up.
I question the system that selected them, but in general, that's a bad word when I'm talking about generals, but typically you're really special. You're a special kind of leader to reach general officer. And this was another example of the Iraqis throwing us a feast. So generous, guys. Did you know what I learned during my time with the Iraqis is when they're generals, but special. You're a special kind of leader.
Yeah. Would you believe it, guys? All right. So there's titles in the military like commanders, right? It's the connotation of commander, responsibility, responsible for everything that organization does or fails to do. And at this moment in time, he was a brigade commander, this leader that I'm talking about. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to cover that previous talking face. In this moment of time, I was a commander at a smaller level, like company command, and he was my brigade commander, 2 echelons, 2 levels above me, and he's responsible right now for Wounded Warrior Project. And we served together in a moment of time years ago, like 2008-ish. So that's almost 20 years ago. But I'm telling you, once those core values, you get a sense of them. I don't think people, especially at that age, right? He's not a teenager in that. Neither one of us are teenagers in this picture at this moment in time. He's developed. He's experienced. Like, what I'm saying is that when you reach a certain point, and I don't know what that, it's probably different for everyone. Your core values are established, and that's who you are as an individual. And I wouldn't say I had a lot of interaction with him, but my observations at least were that, he's a man of honor and character and integrity. And that's who is in charge, who's responsible, who's the chief executive officer of the Wounded Warrior Project, is this leader that I served with before. And right, full transparency, guys. We're talking about Wounded Warrior Project, and I don't know how I came. I think I looked at that. That's how it came up, guys. Because I was looking up how much does a Wounded Warrior Project's chief executive officer make, and I found out, and it wasn't him in particular. They said
and this was another
they said that
example of the Iraqi.
they said that information, the most current information, is not available yet. But as part of a nonprofit, you have to file tax documents, and you have to publicly, right, and for transparency. So let's figure this out. But what I researched, because two separate moments in time, it was probably during this time, around there, maybe earlier, 2008, when this scandal happened with Wounded Warrior Project. And that's what we're talking about in that moment of time. But then right now, present time, 2026, I was just researching about Wounded Warrior, and I said, how much does their chief executive officer make? And I didn't know it was this officer, or right, he's retired. I didn't know it was this leader that I had served with previously is in charge of Wounded Warrior. That's how I found out. And I was like, wow. So I'm confident, right? I'm confident this leader, at that time, I still do, right? That's how life works, is when you develop a impression of somebody. That impression remains constant until there's evidence to change that impression, either on the positive way or a negative way, right? And so I had an impression, very positive impression, of this leader I served with. Let's look at it. At that moment in time when our lives were crossed and connected, and there's nothing I've read or come across that would make me change my positive impression of him as a fellow human being. I looked it up already, guys. I just did a search, but I want to show you right now, do it live. But how much does a chief executive officer make for Wounded Warrior Project? Take a guess, guys. Take a guess. Right? And yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna flow with it. I'm trying to organize my thoughts, but there's a terrific podcast I listen to called Freakonomics, and they talk, right, you have to pay for quality, guys. Right, we all have different capabilities, and those with higher capabilities. And I'm saying this gentleman, this leader, has, from my observation, had developed higher leadership capabilities than most people, the overwhelming majority appeal, an exceptional leader. And so I know for large organizations, right, you're a headhunter, you're trying to recruit the top people to lead at the top of your organization. And so there should be compensation commensurate with that responsibility, right? I get that. But on the other hand, too, right, it's a nonprofit organization, and you're asking people, normal people that may be struggling for their grocery bills and utility bills and lodging, their house, and right, normal people, you're asking people to contribute to your nonprofit organization for a purpose. You understand what I'm saying, right? And for nonprofits, it's broken down, and we're going to see it. how much of the every dollar received percentage wise goes towards the mission, how much goes towards internal administrative requirements, towards marketing, right? It's complex, and there's no simple. It's not simple, guys. But there's a great podcast I listened to about. It's called Freakonomics, and I think they did a highlight on nonprofits. And again, years ago, right? This is from my my own personal memory. But the gist of it was how I explained it is like, if you want to pay for quality, like if you want quality, you need to pay for quality, right? There's that saying in economics, you can have things cheap, fast, or good. And it's talking about producing tangible stuff, but we can kind of apply that to now. You can get someone cheap, right? But maybe they're not going to be good. You could get someone like right now fast, but maybe they're not going to be good. So I do understand that. Like if you want quality, you need to pay for quality. I get all that, guys. We're talking about a Freakonomics podcast episode where they talked about nonprofit and the how much it costs to run a nonprofit versus how much goes towards their specified purpose. Find that episode and just give us the name and number and a short, real concise description if you can do it. Bottom line, it's on every single person. Before you give your money, that's what I'm highly encouraging is you're looking for an organization based on integrity and effectiveness. Yeah, you guys get the point. What makes a donor donate? Yeah, real great. Let's see if it's on YouTube, guys. I don't listen to podcasts a whole lot, but I try to, right? I try to maximize my time to where I'm consuming trustworthy information. Yeah, look at this. Boom. We're gonna support you guys. Boom. Subscribed. 680 episodes. Awesome. I'm not gonna dig through this, guys, but this is I am endorsed. I'm saying the episodes that I've listened to about specified topics, very, very worthwhile. That's as far as, you can't endorse everything or vouch for everything. We're talking about Wounded Warrior Project and compensation for executives, but give us a concise breakdown of executive compensation and how they're spending their donated revenue that's donated. I know that's different, guys. Revenue is kind of a for-profit and donations are nonprofit. So I'll clean that language up for tonight. That's significant. So 2024, over 94% came from donations, $385 million. We're building our outbrief talking points. That's a lot of money. Like, think how much you could change the world with a fraction of that. What are they doing? Right. And because I'm confident in this specific leader, and I'm confident that there's a lot of wonderful people that volunteer to support and participate and be a part of this organization. I'm sure they are doing great things, but $385 million worth of great things. Let's see what it is. So I would say only, right? 70%. Can't do better than that, guys? Look, where's the rest of it going? I'll fix all this formatting crap later, guys. All right, okay, that makes sense. I've seen advertisements, right? So they have to spend, geez, almost 25% is for fundraising? Yeah, there's a cost associated with it. Like I'm struggling with that too, guys, trying to get my message out, but it takes money. You know, that sounds not bad, right? 1% is for top executive, total executive compensation, 1%. I don't know, guys. We're talking percentages, but I'm not real worried about, because, right, let's say the organization collected $1 billion. 1% of 1 billion is a heck of a lot compared to like organization that collected from donations, $1 million. Right? It's a bit. Let's not get wrapped up on percentages. But I do understand what they're saying. It's a sizable organization. So this chief executive officer during this time period, which I guess is the last time their public IRS records are available, 463. So over, right? Over $500,000. I don't know, man. To me, it's a lot. And I've reached out to Wounded Warrior because I wanted to share. When I found out this leader that I had served with was the chief executive officer, now current, I wanted to reach out and say, hey, I shared his picture. I shared, my thoughts about him, which were very, very positive. Very positive. And he didn't reach back to me, right? I don't know, maybe his executive assistant, someone reached out to me and said, Walt is his first name. Walt, 3-star general retired, right? Tippy top, guys. Tippy top of the military hierarchy and leadership chain of command. But, now retired. She referred to him as Walt. Walt, I gave Walt the video and passed along the message, and he watched it. So that's what she said. Who can confirm or deny that? But I have no reason to doubt that's the truth. The more significant debate is whether spending around 70% versus 30% on fundraising and admin is the most effective use of dollars. I don't know. Maybe Walt's gonna change that, and I hope he doesn't mind me calling him by his first name, but that's what his aide or his assistant referred to him as. But we didn't even talk about the scandal, right? Because I mentioned it so much, we're going to look at it. And I'm going to tell you this. The seed was planted in my mind that, like, distrustful organizations, that's a point. There was an NBC News. I'm going to quiet my microphone, turn up the volume of this. How do you know? Don't waste your money. When was this? Yeah, 10 years ago, guys. And it still sticks with me. Let's watch it.
All support the men and women who defend our country, and many of us donate generously to help those who have returned from war. But
Yeah.
accusations of misspending have now shaken our trust in who is getting our money. So tonight we're on your side with how to be safe with your donations.
Yeah.
The Wounded Warrior Project has raised millions thanks to ads from country star Trace Adkins and other celebrities. But now it's enveloped in scandal, and local veterans worry.
Heard something on the news about it, yeah.
Doug Hoskins of Bridgetown, a Vietnam vet, is talking about former staffers' claims of lavish parties, sky-high salaries, and other wasteful spending.
Well, I don't think it's right. That's all I can say about it.
His wife, Sandra, who volunteers at Cincinnati's VA hospital, says the accusations are shameful if true.
We know too many veterans. We know a lot of them. We deal with them at least once a month over at the VA hospital.
Said veterans halls across the tri-state worries about how the Wounded Warriors controversy is going to impact donations.
Well, frankly, we're concerned whenever any patriotic organization comes under fire that the public will feel there's a lapse in faith.
Dan Clare is with Disabled American Veterans, the nation's
There's a lapse in faith.
Dan Clare is with Disabled American Veterans, the nation's oldest veterans charity based right here in northern Kentucky. So how can you tell if a veterans group is worth your money? Two great sources to check are the Better Business Bureau and Charity Navigator. Charity Navigator reports that Disabled American Veterans gives 96% of its money to vets, but Wounded Warrior gives just 60%. DAV's Dan Clare hopes people don't cut back on their donations just because another vets group is under fire.
And look into the charities that you want to help, and know that veterans need help.
All right. What do you guys think of that? Again, for every, I don't want to use the word life, but you know, for every living, everything that living, you could look at something in different moments in time and, right? Look at ourselves 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. I've evolved, I'm better, and I'm taking a more aggressive effort to improve myself as a human being. So I hope if you can calculate the difference, the improvement I was from 10 years ago to now, I hope 10 years from now, I hope it's even greater because I'm taking a more aggressive and focused and deliberate approach to developing myself as a better human being. But same thing is true about organizations is my point. So Wounded Warrior Project is not the same. I can't say it as fact, right? But I'd bet everything that I own of value that they're not the same organization that they were 10 years ago whenever this scandal happened. And I know they're not because a leader that I greatly respect is now in charge of that organization. So, you know, the purpose of me sharing that video wasn't like, hey, if you support Wounded Warrior or thinking about it, like instead go to this other one. I wasn't aware of that other organization too, but in terms of what gets directed towards the purpose of those, you guys know my point. We all responsible for making our own decisions, but I'm definitely not I'm afraid, not afraid. I'm concerned that this is going to have a negative impact on Wounded Warrior, and that's not up to me. That's up to each individual that's deciding like what organization, if you even do you support. Right. So in that news report that we just saw, it said they at that time donated only 60%, and now you see it's 70% according to the latest public official. So an improvement. And again, you know, I get all that, guys. But what I'm sharing with you, guys is at that point in my life, 2000, 10, I think I had just finished a deployment to Iraq, right? And casualties still high in this global war on terror, which is an absurd name for combat operation. Because is terror defeated, guys? I'm pretty sure terror still exists, and I'm pretty sure in certain cases, let me be careful what I'm saying, guys. Military action around the world still terrorizes people. I'll put it like that. Right? Yeah, who's the terrorist? Just ask that question. If you cause people, human beings, to feel terror, are you the terrorist? Yeah, I think so, right? Isn't that the definition? Definition of a terrorist. I'm pretty sure, right? Basically, if you cause another human being or a living creature to feel terror, you are a terrorist. It's just basic language, guys. A person or organization or military who uses or threatens unlawful, unjustified violence, especially against civilians, to intimidate or coerce a population or government in order to achieve political, ideological, religious, or social objective. That is a terrorist. Let's add that, right, to tonight's formal out briefing. Wounded Warrior, you guys aren't the terror. I'm taking you off that slide. Again, guys, I'm 1,000% for sure, undoubted. They do terrific stuff for select people, and Waltz, the CEO's aide or representative, whoever contacted me and said that he watched that video, sharing my experiences about Iraq. She said, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, let's keep running. Oh, we're talking about. She asked me, did I register? Have you registered for Wounded Warrior? And I feel rude. In fact, I'm going to write it on my to-do list. I don't think I replied back to her because I thought it's kind of a generic thing, but she sent a message, hey, Walt, watch the video. I shared it with him. And maybe she said, did he asked if you, but she asked if I'm registered under Wounded Warrior. And I didn't reply, right? Because I don't think she was expecting a response, but it's just common courtesy. If she asks a question, I'll reply. So I wrote that on my to-do list. But no, I didn't, right? Because I don't need to benefit from that. And let's pull that thread a little bit. Wounded veterans. You guys are too quick to shut off the mic. Right, so these end up right, I got issues too, but what I'm saying is I don't feel like I need financial assistance from Wounded Warrior, so I have not registered for that. But guys not guys, non-gender fellow service members that have been wounded, mental or physical, right? Not all wounds are visible. Yeah, I'm for sure Wounded Warrior Project, and this is a Wounded Veterans Relief Fund. I'm sure they're helping people, and I'm confident in that. But the point is, how much did we say they're earning? $385 million, right? So subtract all the other stuff, administrative, executive compensation. How much of $385 million, and that's 2 years ago, how much of what they're collecting in donations is, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This isn't about focusing on Wounded War. I'm going to keep going. We're going to talk about plastic, guys, because that's a purpose. A person, right, or organization is a country an organization, or organization, military, nation, etc. Who uses, yeah, that's good, guys. Right? Images are powerful. Let's look at Shutterstock. I'm going to type in terrorist. Yeah, that's good. I'm chuckling, right? Because that's like, I didn't want them to portray like any one of a specific religion. Yeah, that to me, yeah, that's normal people, guys. Normal people. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, let's pick the gym. Let's pick a gym picture. I'm just right visualization, visual. You guys know, well, when you see things, and especially videos and images, music, all these, they kind of, we use our extra senses to create emotion and make things more effective. Garbage truck. I'm not really filtering out stuff, guys. So if you see like personal stuff, you gotta forgive me. I think you're gonna like where I'm going with this. Yeah, if you're wearing masks and you're hiding your identity, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen pictures, right? If you have to wear a mask to conduct operations you're doing, it's not good, guys. I'm trying to make a point when we see visual images. Like if you had to choose, hey, between these pictures, who's the terrorist? It's easy, right? It's an armed, masked individual. Male, like non-gender. But my point is, if you are a member of an organization or a group, let's just call it a group or a group. No. I like it because we're talking specifically about militaries and national militaries. Who is the terrorist? Did we win the war on terrorism? What an absurd, like who named that operation? And now let's look at this, guys. Global War on Terrorism statue memorial. Like I think our nation's building. It's absurd. It's absurd, guys. Gee, I'm going to talk about this too. What are we doing? Did we win? That's what this 40 days is for. And so if this stuff's interesting to you, like join me. Did we defeat terrorism? How absurd. Right? It's like the war on drugs, the war on poverty. Right, that's ongoing. I do get but to build a memorial, I don't know. I do understand the connotation of war. It's like, hey, it's doing more than words. Let's declare war on this idea. Yeah, National Infantry Museum. I've been there, guys. I am an retired infantry officer. Come on, I just want an image. Where is this thing? They probably didn't include it because the design's not complete yet, but I'm going to snip this thing. I don't know, guys. I also don't want to be offensive to, right? I got good friends that died during this global war on terrorism, but I think they would agree with me. Like, it's absurd. The name of it, like what they were doing is not absurd. I know they sacrificed their life for what they felt was right? It's like the quote from the movie. Like people join the military for certain reasons. But like when you find yourself in dangerous situations, you're not sacrificing yourself for like, you're fighting for the soldiers, the service members next to you. That's the point I'm making. I really don't know why I went down this rabbit hole, guys. I'm not going to say, did we win yet? That's kind of insulting. Victory. Oh, that's why. Yeah, we're talking about terrorism and global war on terrorism, but I think you get kind of my sentiment on that. Give a very short, like a couple sentence description of why did the U.S. military choose global war on terrorism? Like who was behind that decision? And then add something like, cannot declare war on ideals. Isn't terrorism an ideal? You get where I'm going. All right, guys. I'm gonna I'll be right. I should be back before this song's done, but I want to listen to it. Let's feel some emotion. You guys know what, all this kind of stuff's on my mind. On your mind too, if wow. We have 12 months. Yeah, we're going to talk about AI too. The godfather of AI says we have 364 days, right? Because that's published. Man, I feel like an idiot because I had my microphone off, but let's run. I'm just adding. Oh. Yeah, it's a tactic, not an ideal. Terrorism is a tactic. And yeah, you can, I guess, right? You can conduct a war against ideology. We had a war against fascism, right? Talking about Nazi Germany. I don't know what this image is of, guys. Maybe it's the National Infantry Museum. Yeah, I don't. Let's call it proposed. Proposed memorial. National Infantry Museum. We went down a rabbit hole, but I love it. Man, I wish we could just jam out the music together, guys. But again, I don't. I'm concerned. Like, this is my voice now, using this platform and other platforms, and I know someone who had like their accounts removed, so like their public voice removed. And when you think about like freedom of speech and everything, it's significant. And so, like, I'm walking. I don't want to have any violations or anything like that, and so I'm cautious of like copyright stuff. I don't want to give anyone a reason to take my public voice away now that I've decided to and committed to using my voice for the betterment of humanity. Our voice, right? It's not just me. It is just me now. There's a few supporters, but if you're watching this, like, get active. Like, if this motivates you, get active, and I want it to be us. All right, let me just make sure I can reread this kind of stuff later, but I built a framework. My point of the image on the right is just, right, everyday people, they're just going about their day, like living a healthy lifestyle. Probably, many of the people in this image are members of families, right? Because we're all born as part of normal, regular people. But if you're part of something greater than just you as an individual, and they're causing other human beings to feel terror unjustly, yeah, own it, own it, own it. I would say most of us are. You know where I'm going with that, guys. Who's the terrorist? Right? Those questions, multiple choice, A, B, C, or what is D? All of the above. And right, it's about complacency, complicit. Are you complicit to terrorism too? Do you accept it? I don't know. I'm going to chew on this one, see if I want to include it, because I think most military service members that served in the global war on terror, right, preposition on or against, is it against terrorism or on terrorism? Words have meaning, guys. And I would say that administration in particular, they weren't really well known for being selective with their language. More than words. More than words. We identified an issue, let's address the issue. Hey, we're talking about the global war on terror and how that's a strategy, and you can't really, right? how words have meaning, but let's come up with a proposed alternative to the global war on terror. And, sometimes if I talk too long, guys, it just erases this stuff. Maybe it's pointless effort, but we're still trying to do more than words. Pointless because it's so ingrained in, especially service members, they call it GWOT, GWOT, GWOT veterans. Now I got to think about, right? I don't want AI to do my thinking, so. It's a tough one. So you had Iraq, Afghanistan first, 9/11, going into Afghanistan, Taliban, which, right? We can talk about that later, how our objective was to remove the Taliban, and now they're stronger, more armed, more powerful, more influential. Than before 2001. You had Iraq. I don't know if operations in like Africa and stuff counts as G1. I think so. Where else other than the Middle East, specifically Iraq? And then I know Afghanistan's not technically the Middle East, but in Syria, those three. What locations were combat operations executed on during the global war on terror, including Africa? Was that part of the GWAT? Yeah, so I mean, we still have operations going on here, so I'm not going to waste time on this crap. Let's keep running. You guys know what I mean, right? When World War II, European theater, Pacific theater, when those operations are done, it's done. And then when you call a campaign a global war on a strategy, a tactic, it's never done, guys. But we're building a memorial. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe not worth our mental energy because there's greater issues to focus on. Let's start looking at plastic, guys. Yeah, let's get a video. Plastic waste. Stuff kills me. Yeah, DW News. That's another good organization, as far as I know.
The world is facing a plastic crisis.
Yeah, that's silly sound effects, guys. It's like popcorn.
Polluting our air, soil, and especially our oceans.
I'm not gonna watch the documentary. I just want to get some footage. So I'm already recording this. Let's go full screen. Look at all this stuff, guys. Like, this plastic's a major issue. That's why I'm so focused on it. And I'm talking about the videos on the right-hand side.
Or leaking into the environment, killing animals
Let's
and
get that
polluting our...
bird.
So, what happens to the rest? But less than 10% is recycled globally. So, what happens to the rest? It ends up in...
Sorry, guys. What I want to capture is the channel, right? Because give credit where credit's due. I don't want anyone even to... and support. Boom. Subscribed. 6.33 million subscribers. Let's look at what you guys do. Where are you guys from? Germany. Yeah, I've watched this content before, and I know I'm subscribed on my personal one, but now officially subscribed. Man, I'm real focused on animal rights too, right? These are beautiful sentient creatures, and they're intelligent, and they have feelings and emotions and community, and I admire people that are vegan, but I have not committed to being vegan. Anyways, we're looking at stuff that they do, so like terrific organization. And I don't know, guys. I would recommend, if anyone from DW, like, I'm not, I don't have enough resources to donate, but put a donate feature on there, so if people want to support you monetarily, they can. Would be my recommendation. All right, let's go. I'm gonna unsubscribe and then show the subscription whenever it's filming.
But less than 10% is recycled globally. So, what happens to the rest? It ends up in landfills, incinerators, or leaking into the environment, killing animals and polluting our air, soil, and especially our oceans. Roughly 1 garbage truck full of plastic is dumped into the ocean every minute.
It's in the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, and it's everywhere in the environment.
So, why are we continuing to produce so much plastic?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Why are we continuing to do that? Or maybe we'll just watch it tonight in tonight's live stream. I was going to record it, and yeah, I don't have time for that. I'll keep this tab open and we'll watch it tonight. Visualize, what does this quantity mean? 400 million metric tons. That's 40 billion. That number seems like insane to me. I mean, I got it from Research AI. Is this number of 400 million metric tons, comparing that to 40 billion adult elephants, is that accurate? Confirm. I'm not good at math. I mean, yeah, buzz out a calculator, but these numbers are too sizable to comprehend. Yeah, see, I'm glad I fact-checked this guy. Yeah, when you're giving us facts and statistics, make sure you're internally double-checking that. I got that 40 billion adult elephants from you. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I'm glad we checked that. $40 million adult African elephants worth of plastic. All right, I'm good with this comparison. I mean, people can't still visualize 40 million adult elephants. So I made another comparison to garbage trucks. Let's just do a double check, make sure. That's not my stated assumption. I didn't come up with 400 million metric tons of plastic. Make sure that statistic is accurate as well, and give us the source of where that came from. So you got 80 million garbage trucks, 40 million. So it's twice as much. So like 2 elephants. Does that make sense? Like, I think the truck in that picture is more than 2 grown elephants. See, like this cut down, like numbers have meanings. So it cut down 30 million metric tons. So it's more than 400. Idiot. I'm not going to redo the math based on like elephants and garbage trucks, but I guess there's 2 different programs, development and environment. Man, I wish you guys could listen to the music I'm listening to. All right, 430. Check the examples you gave us again. So we're saying the number of garbage trucks is half the number of elephants, 40 million versus 80 million. So we're saying 2 full-size grown elephants is equivalent to the same size as a full garbage truck. We don't have to get too specific, but just make sure we're in the right ballpark and using the right references to help people visualize. Just looking at we had 19 viewers on I can't really tell who's on right now. I hope someone's on. But again, this stuff gets posted, so people can watch it later. If there's an organization officially that uses the 430 million metric tons, use that figure. And based on what you said, that came from the United Nations Development Program. Let's use consistent figures, 430. Confirm it, and then use it if it's accurate, and then confirm the source. All right, now we're getting more specific, huh? 86 million. 72 million elephants. Guy, I can't even visualize the quantity, right? And plastic is light. So you're thinking, just imagine a garbage truck, how dense that material is, the steel, the metal. And then look at plastic, how less dense plastic is. So like quantity wise, one single garbage truck's quantity of plastic, how massive that is and how much it spreads out across our environment. All right, guys, so I'll put one more image of a garbage truck. Right, it's different. I'm thinking about the wording and the visualization, so it's different. Are we talking? What I'm visualizing is the weight of that fully loaded garbage truck. The equivalent weight of plastic, or are you talking about the load? Words matter, so I want to be as accurate as possible. The equivalent of more than 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic. So we're comparing different things. When you're talking about per day, it's visualizing 2,000 garbage trucks elevating their load, their trailer, and dumping that equivalent volume of plastic into the ocean, rivers and lakes? Or are you talking about 2,000, comparing the weight, the gross weight of 2,000 garbage trucks and the gross weight, that equivalent gross weight of plastic is dumped in? Specify. Words have meaning, computer. When I get mad at ChatGPT, I call it computer. That's what I'm saying, right? You know, AIs can't replace a human brain yet in a lot of things. Fucking so stupid, man. Because that's a terrible comparison. Because a garbage truck full of single-use grocery bags is different than a more dense plastic. Yeah, let's do more than words, guys. I'm going to send a message to someone in the United Nations right now. Come up with a statement that I can share. I'm probably going to use Facebook. And what group? Just come up with a statement why they need to fix that comparison. Get a better analogy, like specify the difference, volume and gross weight. Do more than words, guys. No longer. I am no longer sitting back when I know something's wrong. Give me some United Nations Facebook groups I can join and post that to. Why, guys? Why do you have two different groups? Well, like, why do you have two different groups? Let's do 8.8 million followers. What's the other group? So that's the blue icon. What's the other group? What is this? Which one has the, like, right? The blue check mark is the one that... I'm just looking at Facebook, United Nations. There's multiple groups called United Nations, and this says, oh my God, man. Where's the 8 million? Right? It should not be Zuckerberg, Facebook team. Like, I should not be able to create a group called United Nations. A normal person, right? There needs to be an official. All right, so here's the check mark. Got it. I got it. Yeah, I got it. I didn't mean to take a jab at you, Zuckerberg and Facebook. Boom. I liked it. Now let's go there. Yeah, 8.8 million. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a warning or something like, hey, that's what this check mark is for. So this is the official group. I don't know how I can send a message. Contact information. There's Instagram, music, LinkedIn, X. Oh, come on, guys. All right. Keep pushing. Be efficient, James. Right? We don't have unlimited time. I want to do a search for plastic for a past post. Can I do that? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, let's filter by like recent. I guess that was pretty recent, 8 hours ago. It's talking about AI, hunger, pollution. That's good enough. All right, I'm talking pollution's not good. I'm talking about I'm going to comment as human values. Right, you know, this is AI. I don't you have to give it guidance. Refine this comment. Should start with our human values community is referencing data from the United Nations regarding plastic waste. And we notice and we recommend using a better analogy than your garbage truck, or specify, are you talking volume of the truckload or the gross weight? Help people visualize better this issue of plastic waste into our waterways and oceans. Our human values community has been referencing United Nations data, right? For people that are, if you're listening to this just driving, that's why I'm reading it. One suggestion: consider revising the analogy of 2000. Don't rewrite it. I'm going to add this to it, but tell me specifically among documents from the United Nations, where did you pull that 2000 figure from? As stated in what? Okay, reword number one. I'll use that reference, but just reword it as stated in blah, 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 and give specific to date, publication date. Come on, computer. Dear UN community, UN leaders. Yeah, that's good. I think it would be cool to work for the UN, from what I know, right? Talking about betterment of humanity and having purpose and making a difference. But they're toothless, and it's not their fault. Like, I don't know what the solution is, guys. They, you know, like some horrible stuff happens in the world, is happening right now, and it's like that. You know, I'm so furious. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter, and it falls on deaf ears. And I'm going to write that on my to-do list. How do we get? It's, you know, people are terrified, right, of a world government and a new world order, all that kind of stuff. But you see where I'm going. We need an organization that represents all of humanity, present and future, guys. All right. Yeah, so you see, I use computer technology to help assist with this stuff, but it's coming. Everything's from me, so I'm going to read it. I'm never going to send something. If I send, like, it's from me. I'll read it out loud. So I addressed it to UN leaders. Our human values community has been referencing UN data on plastic pollution, and we appreciate the work the UN is doing to raise awareness of this global challenge. One suggestion: consider revising the analogy of 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic entering our water each day. It is memorable. Yep, it can be interpreted in different ways, guys. I don't know why. Are you referring to the volume of plastic or to the payload weight? Or to the gross weight of the payload of plastic as well as the truck itself? Because plastic varies. We're using the term gross weight. So in terms of the garbage truck, the gross weight of the truck, of the payload itself of plastic and the truck itself, is that the correct use of gross weight? To me, gross means like collective of everything. Because plastics vary greatly in density, blah, blah, blah. That's good. A more precise analogy or a brief clarification of the underlying assumption would help. More than words, guys. Let's don't raise an issue if you don't have a solution. Let's come up with a solution. Let's propose a solution. I like elephants, blue whales. What's a recognizable skyscraper? Burj Khalifa. Yeah, Burj Khalifa. Computer, we're going to come up with a proposed improved visualization. I want weight and I want volume. So let's put it in terms of weight. Right? Like the Burj Khalifa is like massive skyscraper worth. But wait. Right? Like a skyscraper has a lot of empty space inside. So I don't want to, like, people can visualize a skyscraper is what I'm saying. But something solid. Lead is used as weight. Let's use lead. Everyone knows lead is heavy. Lead is dense. So take the metric ton, and I think we said the volume was 430 million, and put that into a quantity of lead, and it should be recognizable. So, which is equivalent to X number of Eiffel Towers. Maybe the Eiffel Tower is really recognizable, but it's a structure, right? A frame. But if it was solid, man, I wish I had more people on here, like bounce some ideas around. So, yeah, let's don't overthink it, guys. Oh, God. I pushed the wrong button. Let's go medium. It'll be more accurate, I guess. All right, the Burj Khalifa is very recognizable, very solid. But I want to specify If the Burj Khalifa was solid lead, that quantity is how many Burj Khalifas? Or can you come up with a better analogy? Something to help people visualize. And we're talking about weight. We're going to give weight and volume, guys. So let's square away the weight right now. Ah, dumbass. I should have let him keep going. Hey, I just needed verbal, like text back. But if you were creating what that would look like, then go ahead, create the image, and then give us the text. Sorry, guys. Let's keep reading. Come on, computer. I want to play that music again. Come on, computer, AI. I put it on medium, but I think this is more than medium. It's pretty basic what I needed. Yeah, I really support this guy, Ludwig Göransson. And if, I would donate to this guy too, right? Because I'm using you. If that was an issue, but like, I don't want to pay for like a full copyright. We got to figure that out. Producer and composer, incredible. Oh, sorry guys, I screwed that up. Sorry. I needed to open it in a new page. Come on, AI. Jeez, all these data centers, right? We're going to talk about data centers, guys. How many thousands and thousands of data centers are being built so things are faster? And yeah, this was kind of worth the wait. That's pretty solid. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Put it in terms of, yeah, I take it back. You generated something solid. 15 Great Pyramids of Giza made entirely of solid lead. Jeez, every day? Every year. Yeah, we're gonna work on volume too, right? Help people visualize volume of plastic. This is weight. This is the weight, guys. 15 Great Pyramids of solid lead. Have you picked up lead before? Go pick up a dumbbell. We are destroying this planet. We are all guilty of it, guys. We are all guilty. Brother Ludwig, and I don't know if you're part of a team or, right? But this is an incredible song that you're a part of or you produced and composed. Incredible. I'm going to listen to that a lot. And yeah, forgive me. If there is a donate button there, man, and you said like, hey, right now you're part of this massive live stream with like 0 live viewers, you need to pay like $20 if you want to play my song. Like, yeah, I'll contribute, man. So all 0 people that are part of this live stream can enjoy this music, and you can be compensated for your intellectual property and your talents and your skills, right? You guys know what I'm getting at. All right, let's start talking about volume. All right. Do not generate another image. This one's excellent. Great job comparing it, putting it in terms of the Great Pyramid. But give the verbal description of what that is. Yeah, I know it's a computer, but sometimes I want to give some encouraging feedback because I curse a lot at them, this computer sometimes. And let's save this image. Why isn't there just a download button, dude? Or am I missing it, man? Do I have to screenshot it? Come on, computer. Save image, yeah, okay. But you should have a download button too. Pyramid. Oh my gosh, man. Okay. Okay, now that helps us visualize the weight. But now let's help people visualize volume, what that means. And so I'm looking at, the plastic from tires you said was a main source. One-use plastic bags. I think the most identifiable piece of plastic is the one-use, single-use plastic bag, grocery bag. But give us a visualization. You don't need to don't create an image. Just describe it. What that volume of plastic bags is. Like, would it fill the Pacific Ocean? Could you wrap it in a layer around the entire Earth? How many times? Or single plastic bags like will stretch out to Mars? Like, help us visualize in terms of plastic bags, or a better analogy of quantity and volume. Don't forget, guys, we got to go back to the UN and propose a better analogy. Come on, guy. Oh, that was all right, so I want to insert. Oh, running out of gas, guys. But never running out of motivation or purpose. Never, yeah. Let's run with this. All right, let's put image on top. Close this. We want the imagery on top. Perfection is the enemy of just good enough. I have been a perfectionist, probably to my detriment. All right, let's visualize this. I think I'm gonna end this live stream, guys. I got enough to chew on for the rest of the day between plastic and NGOs. Right, I could keep running and doing this research until the actual official formal live stream, but right, I want to create like a polished product. All right, man. Non-gender, guys. Yeah, someone send me some feedback. Our website, humanvalueslife.org, has my email address. Send a just put a comment on one of these videos. I don't need it to like boost me up, right? Like I'm running with this because I know right? I'm not going to say even if I impact one person, you make a world. No. If I only impact one person, I failed. I mean, it's good me and this other person's on the same page, but you know what I'm saying? I don't need encouragement because I have purpose, right? And our purpose doesn't rely on other people's support, endorsement. But yeah, I would appreciate it. You know, sometimes like the good news story I shared where I ran into that mother of 4 and the wife, you know, she was the wife of the husband, met her husband. Like that was I wouldn't say I needed that, but like what I'm doing doesn't depend on those positive interactions, but right, it's encouraging. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's day 4, guys, and man, if there's nobody who cares on day 40, yeah, I'll say it. You're gonna make me question humanity again, but not my purpose. Let's run, guys. Yeah, stay healthy. You know, do some healthy habits. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat a salad. I'll probably go work out first. Yesterday was I do the push pull legs core kind of routine. Yesterday was my push, so chest, shoulders, tricep. Today I'll do cardio, try to burn some visceral fat around my waist, right? You don't target one specific area, but I have a build up there I'm trying to decrease. But get some good healthy habits, guys. Doing this for you, we're doing it together, and yeah, let's spread some joy around the world and spread some goodness. There's some dark times, right? I was gonna dedicate yesterday to researching climate change, but if you go down too deep down that, not even that deep, but like just a little subsurface of that topic, man, there's some dark days ahead. And we're gonna address it, but all right, guys, I'm gonna call it.